If you're searching for what to do in Bonaire from a cruise ship, you're in the right place. I've just come back from a Caribbean cruise on P&O Britannia, and Bonaire was one of the most unexpected highlights. From snorkelling at Klein Bonaire to hiring a golf buggy and exploring the salt flats, this island has so much to offer, and it's all incredibly easy to do, straight from the cruise port. In this video, I'm going to walk you through exactly what to do in Bonaire on a cruise day, from the best beaches and local spots to must-see sites, easy DIY walking tours. I'll also share a few important tips about transport, currency, and what to expect when you walk off the ship. Let's dive in. Bonaire sits in the southern Caribbean, just north of Venezuela, and it's part of the ABC Islands alongside Aruba and Curacao. It's actually a special municipality of the Netherlands, so it's got a fascinating mix of Caribbean soul with a Dutch twist. Now here's the beauty of it. The cruise port in Bonaire, in the capital, Klein Bonaire, is one of the easiest I've ever experienced. You literally walk off the ship and you're in town. No long walkways, no shuttles, no port buses. It's right there. The pier is flat, accessible, and you're straight into a charming waterfront lined with shops, markets, and cafes. There's a little South Pier mall with souvenir stalls and an information desk if you want a local map. My advice though, skip the overpriced shops right by the ship and head a bit further into town. Calle Grande is the main street. It's full of boutique shops, art galleries, and gelato cafes. Option 1, DIY walking tour. If you're not booking an excursion, a brilliant way to explore is just to walk it. You can do a lovely circular route around Klein Bonaire's historic sites. Takes about an hour more if you stop for coffee and photos. Fort Orange is a great starting point. It's the oldest structure on the island, with a lighthouse and gorgeous views of the ship in the background. From there, you can see the old administrative and customs buildings, the welcome seat dedicated to Queen Wilhelmina, and a series of war memorials in Plaza Wilhelmina. Just a bit further along, you'll reach Plaza Machimimi, once a fisherman's market, now a shady little spot to rest and soak up the sea views. Keep going and you'll find murals and street art, a few more eateries like Corel's Beach Bar, which sits literally over the water, and spots to grab a coffee or breakfast with a view. If you're after a super chilled day and want to stay close to port, that walk, a good meal, a swim at the small beach by the pier, and some shopping makes for a perfect few hours. Option 2, Klein Bonaire snorkeling trip. But if you're even slightly into snorkeling or just fancy something a bit more adventurous, you absolutely cannot miss Klein Bonaire. It's a tiny, uninhabited island just a short boat ride away, and it's honestly some of the best snorkeling in the entire Caribbean. You can get a water taxi right from the port. There is a small row of tents just outside the port where you can book your ticket for the water taxi. It's only a 5 to 10 minute ride and the water is crystal clear. Now here's the important bit. There's nothing on Klein Bonaire. No cafes, no shade, no loose. So bring water, snacks, and reef-safe sunscreen. But the reward is pristine coral reefs, loads of colourful fish, and soft white sand. Option 3, island tour. Now, on my cruise, I actually did an island tour, and I'm so glad I did. It took us to some of the island's most incredible spots. First up was a visit to Rincon. Rincon is the oldest village in Bonaire, tucked away in the island's green northern hills and full of local charm. While you're there, don't miss the Magazine de Rey Museum. It's housed in a former royal storage building and offers a brilliant look into Bonaire's cultural history, music and traditions. We also stopped at 1000 Steps Beach, a world-famous diving spot. Don't worry, it's only 67 steps down. The name's just a local joke, but it's a breathtaking place. If you've got snorkel gear, bring it. I even spotted a turtle on the rocks. Next up were the historic slave huts by the sea, tiny, brightly coloured buildings that once housed enslaved salt workers. It's a sobering but really important piece of the island's past. Then we visited the famous salt flats. The water there turns this surreal pink colour from the salt concentration. It's like something out of a dream. Pink water, white salt pyramids, and the bluest sky you've ever seen. Before headed to the beach. we went flamingo spotting. Bonaire is one of the few places in the world where flamingos breed naturally, thanks to its protected salt flats and peaceful lagoons. You'll often spot them in the south of the island, especially near Goto Lake and the Peckelmere Flamingo Sanctuary, where their bright pink feathers are a stunning contrast against the salt pans. And then Sorobon Beach. I fell in love with this place. The water is waist deep for ages, so it's perfect for swimming even if you're not confident. There's windsurfing, beach bars, and the most chilled out atmosphere. Option 4. Hire a golf buggy from Bonaire Cruisers. Now, if you're after a bit more freedom to explore at your own pace, one of the best ways to see Bonaire is to hire a golf buggy from Bonaire Cruisers. Honestly, it's such a fun way to spend the day, and you'll feel like you're on a mini adventure. The rental desk is right near the cruise port, and they're really used to working with cruise passengers, so everything's quick and efficient. You'll get a little map, and you can choose whether to explore the north of the island, the south, or both if you've got the time. The buggies are super easy to drive, and you'll see loads of cruisers doing the same thing. On your drive south, you can see the iconic salt flats and the slave huts. But one of the best parts is that you can stop anywhere that takes your fancy. Fancy a swim? Pull over at one of the local beaches. Want to see flamingos? You'll probably find a whole group of them just wading through the pink salt ponds. It's a great way to visit harder to reach spots like 1000 Steps Beach. You can also check out the Flamingo Sanctuary. And it's not just about the big sights. Sometimes it's the little beach bars or random roadside views that become the best memories. A quick tip though, wear sun protection and bring water. The buggies are open air and it does get hot. But it's a brilliant, independent way to see the island without being tied to a group or schedule. Transport tips. Getting around is easy. There are taxis waiting at the pier. If you're going further afield, I'd recommend booking a proper tour with aircon. For solo travelers, it's safe, low pressure, and really easy to navigate. No aggressive vendors, just friendly locals offering help if you need it. Need to knows. They use US dollars, so there's no need to faff about with currency exchange. English is widely spoken. Bonaire is very eco-conscious. Reef-safe sunscreen is a must. And the island is proud of its marine conservation status. Bonus tip. There's a spot right by the port, a small staircase that leads straight into the sea. It's a known local snorkelling area, and if you're short on time or just want a quick dip, you can hop in right there with your goggles. It's free, it's easy, and yes, the fish are right there. And before you think you've seen it all, Bonaire might have just become one of your favorite ports. It was hands down one of the most unique and unexpectedly brilliant stops on my P&O Britannia Caribbean cruise. I'm not exaggerating when I say it's a proper hidden gem. No stress, no crowds, just stunning scenery, brilliant snorkeling, and loads of ways to enjoy the island whether you fancy a full-day excursion or just want to potter about it independently. And just when you think Bonaire has it all. If you're looking for the best shore excursion in the entire Caribbean, one that completely took me by surprise, you'll want to watch my recent video. I take you inside a port stop that delivered so much more than I expected, with history, scenery, and a moment I'll never forget. It's linked right here on the end screen. Go give it a watch, and I'll see you over there.